Hello everyone, my name is Troy, and I'm going to be switching gears a little bit on my channel here. So originally it was only going to be for music related stuff as far as music compositions and arrangements, but now I've decided to dive into the realm of homebrew news. As far as homebrew goes, I have been in the scenes for many years, ever since the PS2 days when they started making free McBoot and things like that for it. If you don't know what free McBoot is, that is definitely a video I plan on making later. So what these videos will be containing are homebrew news, or homebrew updates, have you will. I will be going from the newest generation, which is the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch, all the way back to, say, PlayStation 1. In the past couple months, there have been some stuff released on the PlayStation 1 still. It's still kind of there for the homebrew scene in PlayStation 1, but it's not very often you see something be released. With that being said, let's get on to the very first console, the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch's homebrew scene has been thriving lately due to the fact of the ReSwitch team releasing their homebrew PegaSwitch 3.0 due to releasing their homebrew PegaSwitch 3.0 web exploit. This exploit isn't one that lets you play, say, backup games or even run homebrew apps at all. It is mainly a toolkit to find exploits such as those. Now, the same team, ReSwitch, does have something called ROHAN exploit, which is an arbitrary code exploit. Now, it is not finished at all, but when it is finished, you will be able to run homebrew apps and games, or, your own backups. Now, all this stuff for the Nintendo Switch is open source, the ROHAN as well as the PegaSwitch 3.0. Over at the 3DS scene, we do have some awesome news, albeit it is relatively old. But the very first thing I'll be talking about is not old. It was actually just released this week. What it is an update to the famous God Mode 9 file explorer on the 3DS. I will definitely have a link to all of everything here down in the description below if you want to check it out. If I don't put images on the screen here or something like that, which I do plan on doing. But if I don't, then again, all the links will be in the description. All I did was fix 2 or 3 bugs that was in the program. So it's always helpful to update the newest software. That way you don't run into said bugs that were fixed. Onto something that has been released on the 3DS for the past couple of months is called NTR Boot Hacks. NTR Boot Hacks lets you mod the 3DS from the very beginning of the power cycle, meaning right when you turn it on, you could actually mod it straight from there. But in order to do it, you need a flash card. So this flash card is the Ace Card 2i, I believe it is. I don't remember the exact name. I mean, it does have it. It has Ace Card on here. That's what I'm going by. All you have to do is just put this guy into the 3DS, and you also have to have a magnet. But with the right button presses, you can actually mod any 3DS. New 3DS, old 3DS, 2DSs, even the newest 2DSs that has come out. It's very helpful because if you happen to brick your 3DS, you could even unbrick it by using this little flash card here. There's also been an update to the popular base hacks. Base Hacks is a Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire save game exploit. Essentially, you can run the homebrew menu from it. Now, the thing I'm about to say isn't exactly good news, but the creator of it, NBA Yo, has decided not to release any new updates for Base Hacks because there are so many other exploits that he used nowadays, such as NTR Boot Hacks. As far as the Wii U goes, a new update has been added to the Wii U official firmware. It was 5.5.2. Now, when it first released, obviously you couldn't do any homebrew stuff on it, but I think it was only took a month or so to actually update it fully. So now you can have hacks on it, and really that's about it that's going on with the Wii U scene. The Wii U scene is kind of dead. There's not much going on with it, at least I think so. Not much news, I should say. Now here's something that I know everyone's been waiting for, the SNES Classic. Yes, you can add games to it. No, don't do it yet. The reason is because the official creator of the popular Hakchi2 program, the guy who made the program for the original NES Classic, has not updated it for the SNES yet. Now, he did post a tweet today saying that he only needs to test it and then he will release it. So I'm assuming it will probably be a couple days, if not, a day or so. That's it for the Nintendo news. Now onto the PlayStation news. On the PS4, someone released a library, a homebrew library, to create your own homebrew games called LibOrbis. Fun fact, Orbis was the actual code name for the PS4. Like I said, you can create your own homebrew games, but you can't actually run them unless you are on version 1.76. Most people aren't. I'm not. I'm still on 3.55. I'm still waiting for a kernel exploit to come out. Speaking of which, there are actually 3 known kernel homebrew exploits for the PS4 on later firmware, but the scene isn't as giving as the 3DS scene and the Nintendo scene in general is. They want to keep it to themselves, and so they have not released anything in the past year plus. Also on the PS4, if you have version 1.76, you can now run backups, full game backups. I should say backups because we all know you probably downloaded them illegally. Last but not least, we got one of my favorite consoles. It's going to be the PS Vita. It's a great console. I don't have many games for it, but I really enjoy it. A new update to the Vita shell has been released. It's version 1.75. All it does is just fix a couple bugs in it. I will definitely put a link to the description down there, as well as everything else that I mentioned in this video. Going along with the PS Vita, someone by the name that I will not pronounce because I never could pronounce his name, I'm just going to shorten it to Rin. He released a tool called Save Data Plus. It allows you to redirect where the save is. Normally the PS Vita saves are actually located inside of the games and you don't really have a good way to extract it or anything like that. But now with this homebrew, you could save it to wherever you want on the PS Vita and then edit it as well because they are not encrypted. Alright guys and gals, that is it for this week. If you have any suggestions for me, please do say so. This is the very first episode of the Homebrew update, which I plan on trying to do on a weekly basis. Feel free to give me any criticism that you have, anything that will make it better, anything I could do better. Also, if you notice that your favorite console wasn't in here, it's probably because I didn't find anything updated for it as well. So like the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One, I just didn't find anything for it that was notable worthy. Now, also, I only have a few sources I check when it comes to those, so if you know of any good sources when it comes to the Microsoft scene, essentially, do tell me, and I'll definitely keep an eye out for whatever pops up on. Alright guys, and again, if you did enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button as well as that like button, and I will see you all next video.